Welcome, Chef Noah. Welcome to Let's Talk on a Spiritz TV.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for having me on Spiritz TV.
Uh, let's start with your culinary journey. And as we know that your journey is very, very inspiring, from winning competitions like AHAR to representing India at different forums, international events also. And how have these experiences shaped your culinary philosophy and approach to cooking?
Firstly, thank you for having me on the show. Uh, uh, Throughout my journey and my career, I was always excited to compete and see what the world is up to when it comes to culinary skills. Uh, so when I first took part in the AHAR competition that happens at the Hospitality Expo in Delhi, I got an understanding to see what's happening in different restaurants, what's happening in different hotels, and what people at my level are learning. Once I won AHAR at the Delhi level, then I went out to win AHAR at the state level in Bangalore. And then post that, I got a chance to represent India in the Hans Buskinson Junior Chef Challenge, which happened in Hong Kong. Um when I went to Hong Kong, it was an eye opener. The way the world looks at becoming a chef or joining the hospitality industry, especially the skills part of it, the culinary part of it, is very different. Here we all go through culinary college, a 3-year degree, but the chefs abroad, like in Hong Kong and in the East Asia category, they were all they enter professional kitchens at the age of 17. So when I was there at the age of 21, they already had around 4 years of skilled experience. They understood ingredients. They were exposed to new cooking techniques. They were more honed in their skills. That was a big eye opener. Once you enter the international market, you realize that uh, it's not being a chef is not about just theory. You can learn that on the way, but it's about honing your skills, because at the end of the day, that is what is showcased on a plate. I feel so. Through that journey, I worked at the Taj. I worked with Olive. They opened a lot of other brands that were very successful in Delhi, like Hungry Monkey, Ariba, and now right now we are, I'd say, the finest Mexican restaurant brand in the country, where we do Miss Margarita. So yeah, it's quite a journey.
We'll talk about it later. So, did it help your being at international events and all these things? Did it help in your culinary approach, like cooking different kind of using different spices or kind of spices?
So
Did it?
you get more exposure. Number one, there are a lot of ingredients that at that point when I was at those competitions were not even available in India. Most of them are still not available in India. The quality of protein, fish, like a sterling halibu that I was using in a competition was the size of, it was 5 feet fish. These kind of ingredients are still not available. So when you get exposure to that, it gives you a better understanding of the product you're going to use in your food.
So, Miss Margarita is a venture of Agave Hospitality, whose partners are veterans in the F&B industry. They have lots of restaurants and bars with them and have had great success with its other properties, right?
Yes.
Could you share about the collaborative vision behind launching Miss Margarita, as it's very unique in its kind, very, very unique concept.
Right.
If
So,
I'm not wrong, this is first ever tequila bar in India.
so we had one before this. That was the first ever. That was called Ariba, which was our first venture in the Mexican direction. So, unfortunately, Ariba had to shut down because of government issues. So, then we decided to open Miss Margarita. So, Miss Margarita is basically an amalgamation of food from the different regions of Mexico, and we were at that stage. Miss Margarita opened just before COVID, just while COVID just started. So we were at that stage where we were also a little, you know, uh, thinking twice as to should we do things something right now, should we wait for a bit. So when we all came together, people from the three different segments, where it was us who did Ariba and Hungry Monkey, and then the boys who did Big Fat Sandwich. Uh, it gave us more confidence that there is more people involved here, and this we will bring more to the table, and our reach will be more. So I think with the hospitality business so volatile, you don't really know, no matter until you're there, whether it's going to work or not work. It's like bread. You can knead it as much as you want, but once you have to wait once it's in the oven. It's like you don't know what is going to come out.
What are the response of consumers now? Because it has been, I think, since you opened it like 8 months or something. Again, after
So
the COVID. Yeah.
yes. So the first one we opened in Delhi, it's 3 years now. This is the third year for
Okay.
the one in Delhi, just as soon as COVID got done. And in Goa, we've opened since Feb. Uh, so Delhi, the response is amazing. We are sold out almost every day up till now. So for 3 years to have that consistently means that we are actually hopefully doing something right in some direction. But in Goa is I think Goa is a new market for all of us. Goa is quite a case study, to be honest. Once I've come here, I've realized, uh, you don't know. In Delhi, we are guaranteed that okay, fine, the weekend will go well and the weekdays are slow, and these are the times you'll make money, you will not make money, or the business will be good. But in Goa, you have no idea. Suddenly, a Monday will be full, and bam, Tuesday it's empty. So you don't. It's a very difficult market, and this is the first season we are getting into. So fingers crossed. We are all putting our best foot forward. Let's see how it goes. But the best part about Goa is, and the reason why we opened in Goa is so that we get the reach for pan India. So everybody from all over India comes to Goa, and that gives us a larger reach for the brand. So in the more holistic plan, Goa was set up.
So, Chef, the ambience of this Miss Margarita is all about the Mexican spirit.
Yeah.
Share the highlights of its design process and the decor to create an immersive Mexican experience for its clientele, its consumers.
So when we wanted to design Miss Margarita, the brand, even the name, if you see our logo, it's very colorful. Yeah. So the whole idea behind the brand and its theme was, to make a fun, colorful, non-intimidating space, because we are already getting into a cuisine angle that not too many people are exposed to this side of it. Everybody knows Mexican food as Tex-Mex or like Taco Bell, which is not really the food from Mexico. So we wanted it to be fun. We wanted it to be encouraging and non-intimidating for guests to come in. A very relaxed attitude, a very colorful space. At the same time, trying to show that we're serious about the design angle. So we got Living Design to do our design, and Mr. Amit Chabra has done a lot of brands like Big Chill. He's done Piano Man. He's one of the more veteran hospitality restaurant designers in the country, and he brought all of this together, all our thoughts together, the colors and different palettes, that we could get a little tropical vibe here in Goa uh, with a lot of color to it.
Nice to hear that it's all Mexican, very colorful.
It is.
Uh, as far as I know, Miss Margarita boasts a spectacular collection of margaritas,
Right.
clubbed with a wide range of tequila cocktails. You have designed your menu like this.
Yes.
Could you tell us about the inspiration behind curating such a diverse and creative range of drinks, and what are the USPs of your cocktails and drinks?
So, um, so we by far, I think, in India have the largest range of margaritas. We have close to 35 margaritas on a menu. Our entire menu selection is we're going to make you to try a margarita. That was the plan. Um, we are a tequila forward bar, so the focus was to use tequila as the main ingredient. Apart from that, the flavors of Mexico are so vast, so it gave me so much range to curate different styles of margaritas. We'd use margaritas that have cinnamon and tamarind in them. We have margaritas that are spicy, that have jalapeno and pineapple in them. We have mango and chili. So the whole idea behind this was anybody who's comfortable with a different style of cocktail that they like, we have a version of that in a tequila base. So if you're a whiskey drinker, we would have a tequila old fashioned for you. If you're a gin drinker, we have a gin jamun. So there's fresh jamun with coriander flavors in it. So the whole idea was you should not miss anything out, but at the same time, we're going to try our best to convince you to have one of our cocktails.
So, chef, who has prepared your bar menu?
I have.
Great, good to know. So, you are into cocktails also.
Yeah, as in I'm into flavors, right? As a chef, I was always passionate about designing cocktails. You always want to keep reinventing. I remember when I used to work at Olive, in my break time I would go and start practice juggling in the gravel area so that we didn't break bottles. But it's always keen, and all my partners are well traveled, so I get their feedback on stuff. So it's a fun experience.
Great. So, your style of blending classical European techniques with global flavors while staying true to seasonal and local produce is very much intriguing. Please share an example of a dish that perfectly exemplifies this fusion in your cooking. Say, like one or two dishes.
So right now, what is a crowd favorite is my yam taco. So yam is basically in Maharashtra we call it suran. In English, it's called elephant foot yam. So it's a very local ingredient, and we fusion that flavor with Mexican ingredients to make one of our signature tacos. It's called the tempura yam and black bean taco. So there's a crisp texture to the taco. The yam has been fried and crisped up along and served with our different salsas. So that is one. We're also using a sweet potato and cauliflower. So cauliflower again being very local. Even sweet potato is something that in Delhi you'd find on the streets in winter. It's an ingredient that gives you. It's a very comforting ingredient, and we also smoke it to give you that comfort part which we get at the streets. They smoke the sweet potato and they serve it to you. So we have a sweet potato and cauliflower taco also. So just to name two.
Good to know. We'll come and taste
Yes,
it
please.
for sure. So, as you told me, chef, that you have opened a restaurant in Goa too uh,
Yes.
recently. So, is it in North Goa or South Goa?
So it's in North Goa. It's in main Vagator Junction.
Okay. So, how do you see the restaurant's concept resonating with the different audiences in these locations? As you told me that people from different part of the country coming there and tasting your cocktails and food. So, how does the menu and experience cater to their preferences because they come across the country?
Right. So, so when you're designing a menu, you have to keep into mind the audience you're going to cater to. So the audience that is just the one that we did in Delhi is a very uh, Delhi centric menu design. People in Delhi are very well traveled, and they've been exposed to a lot of other things. But in Goa, those who have come to Goa, not necessarily everyone has traveled as much internationally as the rest as the rest from the north. So what we do is we also do not over experiment with flavors. Um, when it comes to the menu in Goa. We have a lot of signature Goa preparations. We have an entire dedicated section for seafood because when someone's coming to Goa, they are expecting a lot of seafood options. But our flavors are kept slightly more simpler so that it can resonate with a larger audience, and not only simple but also more relevant. So let me say that it's a more relevant flavor profile. So even our spice is kept at a very neutral level. It's not overly spiced or not too underly spiced. We use a lot of flavors that people are like Mexican food. Anyways, gives me that privilege of using ingredients that are very close to the Indian heart. Like in Mexico, they have refried beans and rice every single day, and in India, a lot of families have rajma chawal as their daily substitute. Uh, so the flavors help us when it comes to Mexican food. I already have that help in the flavor profiling.
So, Chef, when will we see more Miss Margarita opening across the country? What will be your next opening and in which city of India?
Hopefully, ma'am, I hope we open much more. We're taking baby steps right now, just trying to make sure we make it right. But yes, very soon another outlet will be coming up in the north side of India. So let's hope that that goes well.
And now, please tell me, Chef, what are your hobbies and what is your favorite drink and food, and from which part of the country or world, or both the?
So, so food wise, cuisine wise, my favorite cuisine is obviously Mexican food. I eat it almost every day. But what I have for lunch, you'd be surprised, is dal chawal. It's the basics that keep us chefs going. We like home food. This is what we miss. We miss home food. We don't. For us, eating in a restaurant is something that is way too common. Uh, when it comes to drinks, margarita is my favorite drink. Uh, Tequila is actually one of the highest trending beverages in the world right now, and we were very lucky to get into the market before it even became so big. So, yeah, so I'd say a margarita or a very good tequila just on the rocks is actually how it's supposed to be had. Uh, but yeah, food wise, cuisine wise would be Japanese. Otherwise, dal chawal is what I deal with.
So, thanks a lot, Chef, for being with us and sharing your expertise in Mexican food and cocktails and drinks. And all the best for your future ventures.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Pleasure speaking with you.